Welcome back to Edgework, presented by FanDuel as part of the Hammer Betting Network. I am Alex Moretto, joined here today by a very well-dressed So Money and also Matt Alber.
Who's not very well-dressed at all.
Who's just regular dressed. We're all just regular dressed. We're just doing our best here.
Let's be real. Even if we all went full suits, we could not match the aura that So Money's throwing out into the universe right now. Like, no way.
No chance.
Chance. I guess he's going to audition for the Canucks head coaching job after all.
Maybe, yeah.
Seeing So Money here today is just all the proof we ever needed to know that I will never be wearing a suit on here because what's the point now? The bar has just been set too high. We're going to just break down all today's games. We do have some hard outs today, so we're not going to be here forever. We're just going to get straight into tonight's games after a quick recap of yesterday where we had a 2-1 night. Maybe a little bit lucky to get that 2-1 night, given not the best close on that Vancouver price, given the surprising Quinn Hughes news. I know So Money, you weren't on the show yesterday. I bet the Canucks for a half unit yesterday. I will throw to you, though, because this is your team. We expected Hughes to play. He did not play.
He did play. He did play.
He did play?
Yeah. I don't know if you missed kind of what happened.
I was just all I saw was Thomas Drance tweet out that he was not taking line rushes and he was not going to play. And then I was like, I'm still sick. I was in bed before that game even started. Like, I was not paying attention whatsoever. I just saw that and I was like, okay, well, chalk this one up as a loss and that's it. And then I moved on.
Yeah, so it was kind of like one of those, he's not going to play. The whole market moves kind of based on that. And then like a 10, what was the game? 10-10? It was like 10-08 or something. And they were like, he's on the official lineup. So it was a race to kind of bet. I think it got up to plus 165, 170, kind of in that range. So it was kind of a rush to bet it at the end. I don't think it closed any lower. I think it kind of just hung there. Maybe somebody knows
161 looks like the close there.
Yeah,
161.
It was the low 160s.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So he did play. Look, I apologize for not knowing that, but I'm battling this week. I'm barely making it to 9:30 these days. All right. We will get into tonight's games quickly here. Then before we do, Puckheads, the NHL playoffs are right around the corner, and FanDuel is bringing you the best bets on the ice. Get in the lab when you make your same game parlay by checking out FanDuel's player performance pages that track stats and averages all of your favorite players. Once you know who's cooking, add shots on goal, points, assists, or even goalie saves to your SGP. Miss puck draw? You can still tap in with live same-game parlay and period-specific player props. Right now, new customers can kick off the season with $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just place any $5 bet, and you'll get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download FanDuel Sportsbook and make every moment more. Please play responsibly. Must be 21 plus and present in select states, or 18 plus and present in DC, or 19 plus and physically located in Ontario. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-866-531-2600 or visit connexontario.ca. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY New York. All right.
You're getting better and better at these, man. It's awesome.
As I get sicker and sicker here.
I was going to say, it does sound like you're miserable, but you have the read down.
This winter has been a long winter. For people who live in Ontario would maybe especially be able to relate, or even I guess in the north, but we've gotten so much snow, like more snow than we've gotten since at least north of the city here where I am, since 2008 or something like that. I think we saw. It's been relentless. It's also my first winter with my kid in daycare. So I've been getting sick nonstop. Just the mix of cold and that, it's just mentally and physically, I am just destroyed. Just destroyed. This is where
I say I think we've had 2 inches of snow all winter.
Yeah, it's good. That's awesome for you guys. We had 2 inches overnight last night, and that was a small snowfall for us. So yeah, I've been ravaged, and it's all kind of culminated in this week where I'm just I'm sick. This is brutal. So we are battling through though. I'm going to let you guys do a lot of the analysis today because I have not watched a ton of hockey this week. Just full disclosure, I did watch the Jets game last night. I was falling asleep halfway through the game though. All right. We will start off here, though, in Florida, where Charles Saul's Florida Panthers are hosting the Edmonton Oilers. Minus 120 for the Panthers at home. Oilers plus 100 Total of 6.5, minus 106 to the over, minus 114 to the under. So much always betting against the Oilers. You there?
Sorry, that could.
My thing kind of froze. Sorry.
Yeah, I froze as well. Did you throw it to me or Albert?
Maybe I froze. I was throwing it to So Money. So Money, are we betting against the Oilers again?
Yes, we are. So I did bet the Panthers. It comes down to basically what I was talking about last game. I think the Oilers are fine long term, but they're in a stretch right now where they're having trouble stepping up against the better teams. We saw that against Tampa Bay, and until I see something from the Oilers, I'm expecting that. To continue. Again, they'll be fine long term. We are stepping up here. I did bet the Panthers earlier. It probably should move again, and I have them up to minus 120 to 125 right now.
Okay. Panthers up to minus 125. You said?
Yeah.
Okay. Panthers up to minus 125.
Yeah, minus 125 at the absolute max.
Okay. Alber, are you double best betting this?
I'm not double best betting it, but I'm not going oppo at this point. I think the price is kind of right here. I mean, yeah, the Oilers, they're going through it right now. We see this with pretty much every elite team at some point in the middle of the season as they just kind of hit this lull. I actually thought, if anything, maybe the Four Nations break was kind of coming at the right time because you saw a little bit of this kind of with them going into the break. I mean, coming out of it, they just look abysmal. Long term, yeah, certainly no worry kind of about them. Certainly expect them to be up there as far as who's going to be there at the end. Tonight, I'm not really interested in getting involved in this game one way or the other.
Okay. I did bet the Panthers. I don't have a ton of extra reasoning for it though. It's pretty simple. I think this is just the Oilers are in a state right now, and you're just gonna have to kind of fade them until they show that they're gonna play their way out of it. You know the effort you're gonna get from this Florida team, getting some reinforcements back at least, and Luosterainen. No to Chuck, but they've still played really well in 2 games without it. This is obviously a bigger step up in class, but as the Oilers continue to sort of fight through this, I do think there is value in continuing to fade them because the market hasn't quite adjusted to how poorly they are playing right now. So Panthers to start things off here. We will move on to the next game where the Islanders have taken some money all morning. Islanders now minus 113 in Boston, taking on the Bruins. Bruins minus 106, total of 5.5, minus 128 to the over, plus 104 to the under. Albert, do you have anything for us in this one?
I don't have too much to add. I was hoping that this was going to go the other way and the Bruins were going to get hit so I could come back on the Isles last night when I was looking at Pick'em. It moved the other way. Certainly not interested now. Not interested in kind of laying the Isles as a favorite. I just really don't like this Bruins team at this point. The defensive injuries are really going to hurt them. I think the rest of the season, they just kind of don't really have anything going right now. I want no part of betting on them. The price moved against where I was hoping it would go. Nothing.
Okay. So money, nothing for yourself as well, or you are getting involved?
I did bet the Islanders. I like them up to minus 115. So my thoughts on Boston have been pretty clear the last little bit here. I think that sometimes when we get to this point, you have teams that are just dead dogs. You're just going to take them out back. Boston is one of those teams right now, and the pricing hasn't adjusted on that yet. So that's something that I do want to get in front of. I think that this team is. We saw that in the Toronto game as well. I think they're done, and I think that they know it as well. We're just waiting for the trade deadline at this point, and until we get to the point where the market adjusts to where I think that they're headed, I do want to get in front of it. So I will be fading Boston here until we get prices that I deem to be where they should be. We're not there yet, so I am going to be continuing to fade Boston here.
Okay, so 2 games, 2 bets. I did not bet the Islanders here. I did not bet the Bruins either. I think we can all agree the Bruins are pretty unlucky not to have put that Leafs game to bed sooner, and then they were burned for it. Was a better effort than I expected. Whether or not that's something that kind of breaks their spirits, we'll see. But for me, the Islanders just seem a little bit worn down. Sorokin seems kind of worn down. It does feel very over for them too. It does feel like 2 teams kind of trending in the wrong direction. So ultimately one that I just sat out. But Islanders up to minus 115 here for so money, which should be, I think, pretty available for people to get.
Yeah, when you're letting the Leafs come back from 3-0 in Boston, you're pretty much dead.
Yeah, you're cooked.
$20 million man Mitch Marner coming up here with the Leafs. So can't wait for that.
Yeah. Okay.
How is it that Zach's more annoying in the chat than he was as producer? Like, I didn't think that was possible, but he's like,
I want to just
he's really doing it today.
And then we can screenshot it and then send it to him in like 2 months. That's the move here.
This might be the year, though.
This might be the year that they win a game in the second round. Sorry, win more than one game in the second round.
Only if they don't.
Zach, don't worry. We are worried. I am worried.
Only if they don't play the Blue Jackets or the Lightning, or both.
Both.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we can make it 3 bets in 3 games here, as we have the Jackets heading into Detroit to take on the Wings. The first of 2 games for these 2 teams. First of a back-to-back. The second one coming on Saturday in that outdoor game at Ohio State Stadium, Buckeye Stadium in Columbus. I did not think that if you told me in September that a head-to-head or back-to-back between the Jackets and the Wings in early March, late February was going to have this much importance, I would not have thought you were right. But here we are, massive couple of games coming up here. Jackets plus 130 tonight in Detroit. Wings minus 156, total of 6.5, minus 128 to the under, plus 104 to the over. So money, are you running it back on the Blue Jackets?
Absolutely. And I think Connor nailed it there in the chat.
BJ's for everyone. With
his comment there. Yeah, I mean, it's this. I like the Blue Jackets, right? And I've mentioned that a lot lately, and we keep getting these numbers on them. I respect what the Red Wings have done. I think that they've really turned their game around, and I do respect that quite a bit. But I don't think they should be priced the way that they are right now. So I did already bet Columbus. I like them down to plus 120. We keep getting these prices on a Columbus team that I think is on the rise, and I think that not only the way I've been thinking about them is not only a playoff spot, but I think that this is the kind of team that can make some noise once they get into the playoffs as well, depending on the matchup. So that just goes to show how high I am on the Blue Jackets right now. I bet them again. I will continue betting them until either I'm wrong and they falter, or until the market adjusts. But until that happens, I just got to keep going.
Okay. Alber, BJ's for everyone.
BJ's for everyone. I was looking at like a plus 125 last night, and I frankly thought this was going to go the other way. I am not as high. I'm also not as high on the Jackets, but I'm certainly not as high on the Wings as so many is. I don't think they should be laying this number here. We did kind of talk about during the break, like how I did not like Columbus, and a big part of that was the fact that they weren't going to have Marchenko for a little while. Him coming back is massive for them. He's just such a huge part of what they do. I mean, you saw it the other night. He had 3 points there. I do like the Jackets considerably more, obviously, now. And, like, these East playoff teams, like, they're dropping like flies. Like, we talk about the Bruins kind of falling out there. Like, the Isles are out of it. The Flyers have played themselves out of it. I don't think the Habs are going to get up there. Like, Ottawa kind of looks like shit, and they're hurt. Like, the Rangers just lost Fox. Like, this has to be the weakest East wild card year, like, or wild card year in general that we've seen in a while, because it does feel like kind of whoever, and I don't agree with the take that like Columbus can make some noise. I think whoever gets these wild cards just gets smacked in round one on both sides of it, frankly. But as far as tonight, like, and so many didn't even factor in the most important part, which is this is the Jackets' mom's trip. I don't know how we missed that part. So better factor that one in. But yeah, that's a long way of saying I like the Jackets here too.
That is important to note, though. That is a good thing that you added there. I bet the Jackets as well. I also did the dreaded double bet in this game. I bet the under. It's kind of run though now. If you can still get like a 6.5, there's a 6.5 minus 115. There's a 6.5 minus 120. If you can get those, I still like it. I don't have to add anything more to the Columbus thing. These guys covered it pretty well, but we'll go back to a triple best bet there. In terms of the under, I do expect a tighter kind of playoff type approach to this one. Columbus really isn't this high octane offense. Sometimes their games can, become that, but they really aren't a like explosive offensive group. They are a very respectable group defensively. The Wings, outside of a handful of games, aren't some offensive juggernaut either. They've been getting consistently good goaltending. I think that's something I just need to lead into at this point. I just think this total is a little bit too high. This should be closer to a bit more of a flat 6. So I bet the under there as well. There's 6 plus 105, even if we need to lock that in. But there's 6.5 minus 120, minus 115. I'm fine with all three of those numbers. All right. So we are firing today. That is 3 games, 4 bets. I don't know if we should slow down a little bit or if we should just keep the good times going, but we have had 3 winning nights in a row to start this week. So maybe we just need to keep firing right now.
Wow. You just mushed the hell out of us right there. Thanks.
No.
No more bets today. That's it.
Year of confidence.
Year of confidence. Right. It's March. It's March. When is the winning coming from the confidence?
Week of confidence.
Okay, week of confidence.
All right, Caps.
Equals in there. The Jackets Cup 200-1. Sometimes you just catch fire.
What a story that would be.
That'd be an incredible story.
That would they would make a movie on that. They'd
be the first team to win 4 playoff series as plus 300 dogs in a row.
With Goudreau in the watching over them. All right, let's go to Caps Blues. Caps minus 170, Blues plus 140. Total of 5.5, minus 115 to the over, minus 105 to the under. Alber, do you have anything here as the Caps tick a little bit here on my FanDuel screen?
No, I would need a much bigger price on the Blues. Not really interested in the Caps here. You kind of said we're going to be slowing down. I think this is the part of the show where my bets slow down. Nothing here. I'm looking for like a 160 and up on the Blues to even start to get interested. I don't know that it's going to get there. I think the total is fine. I'm going to set out.
So, Money, are you sitting this out as well?
Yeah, this one I'm going to stay out. Blues are taking some money right now. Like I get it. Washington is a little bit inflated in this game, and the consensus is that Washington is going to start struggling a little bit. I don't see it yet, so until I see it, it's not something that I want to start getting in front of. So I will pass on this game. It could probably be a lower scoring game, but just I don't have interest here.
Yeah, fair enough. Myself included, I did not bet anything. I didn't bet anything. I just did want to note that like the Caps underlying numbers have honestly been pretty ugly for a little bit now. Just something I'm monitoring. I do still think this is a very good team, but like there's just a little something there, or maybe there's something there, just something to keep in mind. Like over the weekend, they scored a ton of goals, but like Penn's goalies minus 4.7 goals saved above expected. Pickard minus 2.3 on Sunday. They were scoring a lot more than they deserved. There is maybe some regression hitting in a little bit here. Blues have been playing well since the break. I can understand why they're taking money, but yeah, I'm going to sit this one out a little bit too. Hurricanes, the market's favorite team with a cloud of uncertainty over Mikko Rantanen here, are laying minus 240 at home to the surging Buffalo Sabres, who just came off some huge wins over the Rangers and the Ducks. Plus 195 for these Sabres. Total of 6.5, minus 108 to the over, minus 112 to the under. So, Money, at what point can I convince you that maybe these Canes numbers are a little bit too high?
Yeah, I got to go higher still. Yeah, nothing here for me. Just don't want to get involved. I think that the total is fair. The number is probably where it should be. I need more from the Sabres here.
Alber, you need more from the Sabres as well?
So I do think the number's a bit inflated, just not enough to where I really want to bet it here. I mean, the thing with the Sabres, right now, like I talked about the other day, it's a team that you want to bet against when they're big favorites. Did that, probably deserved better. Didn't get it. Now they're the Sabres are probably the right side here. I just don't want to do it.
Yeah, I agree. I think this number makes more sense than it did the other night, where the Canes were laying a very similar number in Montreal. I'm upset that I did not get involved with that one and actually pull the trigger on the Habs. But now we've come back and it's still a big number, but like this is a little bit more understandable, at least with them being on home ice. So not a big enough number for me to get involved in Buffalo. But if the Canes take a bunch more money like they do so often, I think I could get involved in Buffalo at one point. So just something to monitor
the Canes are wearing their Whalers jersey tonight?
Ooh.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Then it's
maybe we have to lay it. Maybe we
it's
have
like
to lay it.
Up to minus 500 here then.
Yeah.
Right?
Minus 2.5 here. That's a good note.
Yeah, it's Whalers night. Oh man. Those jerseys are incredible.
They are very nice.
Yeah.
Really, really nice jerseys.
Jerseys matter, guys.
Jerseys do matter. Jerseys do matter. Mom's trips matter. Dad's trips matters. All this stuff matters.
Do coaches matter?
What did the Leafs do this year? They did a mentor trip. It's just so on
Do
brand.
coaches matter, Moretto?
Coaches matter. Coaches matter. That's I think you're alluding to last year's debates on the show. Yeah, we're gonna sit those ones out now. Okay, moving on to the Habs taking on the Sharks. The Calder race. It isn't so much of a Calder race maybe anymore. Celebrini and Hudson going head to head. Habs minus 215 at home to the Sharks, plus 176. Total of 6.5, plus 116 to the over, minus 142 to the under. Alber, are you doing anything here?
This is if I decide I hate myself enough, I'm going to bet the Sharks because I don't think the Canadiens should be laying this number to anybody. I haven't done it. I don't know if I'm going to do it. The Sharks are nothing. Maybe so money will talk me into it, but I haven't done anything yet. So
money, are you going to talk them into it?
Yeah. Small though. Half on the Sharks. It's just a big number. I like the Sharks. They have shown that they can play a pesky game if they need to, even on the road. I fully expect this game to go into overtime, and we'll end up losing this game in overtime. But that's the price that I'm willing to pay. And at this point, I'm fine with Montreal. I think that they are where they should be in their development. I just think that they're not ready to be consistently laying these kind of numbers, even against the Sharks team. Charles was mentioning there in the chat what color the Sharks jerseys are tonight. We should actually look that up. It does matter. So
I'm gonna guess white.
Yeah. But for this game here, I think that small on the Sharks. I'm good with. It's an inflated number, and the Sharks can hang around here.
Half unit on the Sharks. Have you considered that maybe it's actually a deflated number because the Habs are a wagon? 2-0 since the break, outscoring the Sens and Canes 9-2. I mean, hey, I don't know. This team looks like they figured it out again. Maybe
they'll sneak
make
into
the playoffs.
No,
they're not
garbage
sneaking
East
the playoffs.
wild
They're
card
absolutely not. They're gonna start trading a few guys soon over this next week or two, and it's all gonna unravel again. Okay, half a unit for so money there on the Sharks. Moving on to the Flames at the Lightning, the wagon that is the Tampa Bay Lightning right now, minus 215 at home to these Flames, who just coming off a big win in Washington, plus 176, total of 6.5, plus 116 to the over, minus 142 to the under. So money. I think I know where your answer is here, but are you getting involved in any way in this game?
No, especially not with Vasilevsky confirmed here, and Vladar is going to go again tonight. So I got nothing. I think that Tampa Bay. We know how we feel about Tampa Bay on this show. Actually, I don't know how Alber feels. I know how Moretto feels about Tampa Bay. So I would like Matt's thoughts here. But I think this Tampa Bay team is not only on the rise. They've begun their push for the playoffs now. They're starting to get their game in order, and I think that it's gonna continue. The number's a little bit inflated. Yes, I concede that, but I just think that they're the much stronger team. And Calgary, nice win the other night, but this is a team that I would expect to continue to fade down the stretch here.
First time anyone's asked for Matt Alber's opinion on this show, but So Money has asked for it. So Matt, give your opinion on these Lightning.
So I'm definitely a little lower than you guys are. I get that said, I understand kind of what everyone's looking at with Lightning futures. Is I do think their path is absolutely there. Like we talk about the East wildcard being down. Like I think the East in general is very down this year. Like you even look at the top of it. Like we keep poking holes in Washington. Like Moretto makes it his job to poke holes in Toronto every day. Like the Panthers, we obviously have kind of have a little bit of issues right now. Like the Bruins are shit. The Rangers are shit. Like all these teams that we kind of expected to be up at the top challenging along with these teams are not really there. So I definitely see the path for them. That said, I think in like a normal year, I don't think this is a team I'd look at and say, oh, I think they can make a run. And frankly, if they were to make a run to the final, like I think they'll be dogs against like the best 6 teams out west, 5 teams out west. So yeah, that's kind of my answer. Is like day-to-day basis, I'm probably a little lower on them than you guys are, but I definitely do like the futures more than I think I like them day-to-day.
I will say they do need to add something. I really like this team, but they need to add a middle 6 winger for me to feel really good about their chances to come out of the East. If they don't, then again, it's just wide open because
Riley Smith's available. Come get him.
What's Tkachuk situation? I'm assuming he's going to be back for playoffs. Like we still don't have an update there, which is weird though. So it's hard to say. Do they LTIR him and do something big? Then maybe it swings it in Florida's direction. Do the Leafs go up and make a splash? I think right now it's so wide open that like I don't normally try and put too much stock into this deadline stuff, but like if one of these teams can actually go out and make a significant move, I think that could be what pushes one of these teams over the top here because it is very much there for the taking. But yeah, nothing for any of us in that. Yeah, go ahead.
No, just Mike's point there. I really I wanted to highlight that. I think that's a great point, and I think that that Tampa Bay probably sees that as well, and that's something that that they are going to address. Two defensemen in your top 4 that old, that's tough to make a long run. Obviously, it's matchup dependent as well. If they get a couple of quick series, then it doesn't matter. But I do agree with that point, and I think that that's something that if there's a deficiency on Tampa Bay, it's the kind of the back end depth on the defense, and I think that that's what they're probably gonna address that, and probably another bottom 6 forward as well.
But I do agree. Like I think. Sorry, real quick. Like I think when you do kind of talk about like, and this is why we like the Lightning division futures, is like I think they kind of realize how important it is to win these divisions this year, more so than a lot of these other years where like you may have a really good team in wild card 1. Well, the wild card teams suck this year. So like I do think like these teams that are up there fighting, we can do this another day. So I think they kind of do understand the importance of having it this year. And especially when we talk about like the Panthers, they're not really going to be pushing all out for it. Like I think the Leafs do, the Lightning do, and that's kind of who's there. But to me, it's a massive deal kind of making the division winner this year versus like sitting in that 2-3 yet.
Just to go back to Mike's comment though, like if you look at who they're competing against, I mean, yes, they have 2 D-men in their top 4 who are 34 plus, but like right now, okay, I guess Florida, if you can consider Florida among their biggest competition with the Leafs, but like the Leafs also, like how old is Tanev? How old is Ekman-Larsson? Riley isn't necessarily, into his mid-30s, but he looks.
How did I know you were going to turn this into a shit on the Leafs?
I'm just. It's not a shit on the Leafs. It's just to say, like, I don't think that's actually the biggest problem for Tampa right now, given their competition. I think the bigger problem is getting a bit more depth up front and scoring. That's why I think they should be more inclined to address that middle 6 than they should be their back end. But I do agree that that is a concern, at least if they're looking at like future stuff like that. Okay.
I mean, if they want to get younger, Ryan Lindgren's only 27, so come get him.
Okay. We have 6 more games to get to, and we have 15 minutes to do it here before we have to wrap up. So let's get some rapid fire here. Flyers. I'm not crossing the Panthers from making the conference finals. At all. I do like this Panthers team. I just need to get an update on Tkachuk, Charles. I just need to see what's going on there, because if he's out like for the season, for the playoffs, everything, then I am kind of crossing them off a little bit. If he's back for playoffs, then this team is still probably my favorite to come out of that division.
They're still the best team in the East, I think.
Yeah, they're still the best. With Tkachuk healthy for the playoffs, they're still the best team in the division. I agree. Okay, Flyers, Penguins. Flyers minus 115 in Pittsburgh. Penguins minus 105, minus 122 to the over at 5.5, plus 100 to the under. We will keep this quick if we have nothing, especially. Alber, you can lead us off here.
Played the over between these two teams the other night. Got home, kind of played out that way. I'm going to run back and do it again. I don't really have too much else to add. I know we're on a time crunch. Penguins, I don't think should be 5.5. Flyers, I think these teams can play up and down. Give me the over. Penguins goaltending sucks. Give me the over.
So money.
Agree with the over. I do want. It's a little juice right now, so I'm not going to bet it, but I do agree with it. Penguins might be another team that's dead. The problem is, if I do bet the Flyers, I want to make sure that Erson is in net. I don't think we have that confirmation yet. So that would be the only way that I bet the Flyers. It's Flyers or nothing with the lean on the over, depending on if we get Erson.
Yeah, I would strongly lean towards that over as well. That was honestly a very good look the other night, Alber, and I'm upset I didn't jump on that. The Penguins just cannot buy a save right now. That's what it boils down to. I cannot back this team in any capacity, either pens or unders, until I can see them get a save, because they just cannot do it right now. So it would have to be Flyers or over or nothing. Looks like we have a bet on the over and a strong lean towards the Flyers, and a Flyers bet with Erson. So I will just leave it at that for now. Jets Preds. Jets on a back-to-back here, minus 132 in Nashville to a Preds team that continues reeling a little bit, plus 110 at home for the Predators, total of 5.5, minus 134 to the over, plus 110 to the under. So money, do you have anything in this one?
Yes, I played the Jets. I think that we're in the upper limit of where I want to bet them. Nashville, another team where I just think they're dead. And in a couple of weeks, we're not even going to get this number on a Jets caliber team, even on a back-to-back with the downgrade in goal. I still think the Jets are significantly better against a Nashville team that should probably be taken out back too. So I'm on the Jets here.
Alber, are you also on the Jets?
I missed the boat on all Jets numbers this morning. I was hoping that someone was going to hit Nashville and bring it back. I was just watching the number fly, hoping it would get some resistance. Missed it all. Liked it all. Wanted it all. Got nothing. I'm going to go pout, but Jets are nothing. Nashville sucks.
Yeah, I bet the Jets this morning as well. I also bet the Jets, not to pass post here, but I bet the Jets yesterday after we found out that Norris is actually not going to play. It's the issue with this show a little bit sometimes too, is the timing wise. Like we thought Norris was going to play when we were on here. Did we do? No, we didn't do it on the show. We did it on camera.
Or you at least said you were going to. You at least said you were going to go bet the Jets.
Did I? I don't remember that. I'm pretty sure it was on camera after the show that we found out Norris wasn't playing, and then I did that. I literally bet it on screen while we were talking after the show, I thought. Anyways, but yeah, I'm going back to the Winnipeg well here as well. This team is just absolutely rolling right now. I don't think a little back-to-back here is going to be much of a stepping stone for them. Comrie is whatever. He's fine. He's obviously nowhere close to Hellebuck, but this Nashville team is just so cooked. So yeah, I like the Jets here as well. Moving on to Utah, where maybe surprisingly, somewhat pulling themselves into the playoff race here at this Utah Hockey Club, laying a massive number though at home to the Wild, minus 184 now for Utah at home to Minnesota, plus 152, total of 5.5, minus 102, minus 120 to the over, minus 102 to the under. So money, do you have anything here?
I don't have anything here, but Utah's a funny team because going into the season, I had them battling for the wild card. Then they started struggling, and I didn't expect them to hit the wall as badly as they did, but had a bunch of injuries and stuff. And now they're starting to fight back. So I do cheer for this Utah team. I like watching them play. I also enjoy when I'm right, and I would like Utah to get back into the playoff race here. This number is high. It's very inflated, but it's also against a Wild team that I do want to fade down the stretch. It's just that I can't justify laying this number on Utah. I can't justify betting Minnesota right now, considering how low I am on them. So I will end up passing this game and just hoping for a Utah win here.
Alber, are you passing this game as well?
I am not. I'm also very low on Minnesota, and the fact that I like Minnesota says that I should probably bet Minnesota. I agree the number is too high. Give me the Wild. I don't really have much to add. I've been wrong on Utah all year. I'll probably be wrong again. I hate Minnesota, but this number is just too high.
Great. Now I can't cheer for Utah. Thanks.
Yeah, you can. You can root for me to lose.
No, I don't do that. It's not my style.
He roots for the show because we're good people. I do agree that this number is too high. I think, though, the buyback on Minnesota happened kind of like 40 minutes ago, and if there were better numbers available, so it feels like settling a little bit here. Maybe you can see if it gets back out to that range again. But yeah, look, Minnesota, we've counted this team out a million times this year. They keep finding ways to win games despite constant injuries and everything like that. They battle night in, night out. You know what kind of effort, at the very least, you're going to get from them, which is not something you can say about every team. I just don't think Utah can be laying this big a number. So I don't know that I'd still bet it at this price, but I do agree with Alber here that it's that definitely it's Wild or nothing. Okay, Canucks, another team on a back-to-back tonight here, heading to Anaheim. That long trip from LA to Anaheim, which is like maybe 30 minutes between arenas here. Canucks minus 134 on the road at the Ducks plus 112. Total of 5.5, minus 110 both sides. Alber, I will lead with you here before we let somebody talk about his Canucks. Do you have anything in this one?
Quack, quack, quack. Going back to the well. Back to the Ducks. I don't really have too much to add. I know we're on a time crunch kind of closing in here, so I'll leave it at that. I'm still a little bit higher on the Ducks. The Canucks got it home last night. Didn't really love it. I think anything like 110 and up on the Ducks. I'm seeing some 118s, 115s. Like, that's good for me. So, quack, quack.
Quack, quack. Are you quacking as well against your Canucks, so money?
Yeah, unfortunately I am. We'll make it a double best bet. It's going to be a tough turnaround here for the Canucks. It's not so much. It's about the style that they played last night, and now you're running into a little bit of a feisty Ducks team that can frustrate the Canucks here. Also, the other thing I'm looking at, obviously we'll get Shilovs in net. He looked good against Utah the other night, but I still want to see more from him before I'm okay with a betting on the Canucks with him starting. Hughes, let's see how he handles the second game now. The first game you get through the first game, but if we watch hockey as much as we have, sometimes it's that second game back that really hits you as well. So
especially less than 24 hours later.
Yeah, and he's the engine on the Canucks. If he's not going, the Canucks aren't going, and we saw that when he was out as well. So I think that those elements warrant a play on the Ducks at this number.
And there's a good chance the Canucks are without Tyler Myers tonight, I think, too, after taking that shot in the collarbone in overtime last night.
Hopefully you can gut it out. I am not triple best betting this. I will leave you guys on your lonesome with the Ducks. I still really do like this Canucks team. I am worried about how Hughes handles the back-to-back here, having just returned with this injury and stuff. How healthy is he? How effective is he going to be tonight? But I still don't think this Ducks team is all that good. I still do like this Canucks team and the intensity and the way they can play on the road. So I'm just ultimately going to sit this one out. Two more games to get to here quickly. The Knights at home to Jordan's Chicago Blackhawks, who were just dragged through the mud by Seth Jones. Blackhawks plus 310, Knights minus 400. Total of 6.5 plus 110 to the over, minus 134 to the under. So money. I'm not even going to ask you if you have a Blackhawks play in this one, but do you have any sort of total play or anything like that here?
No, nothing on nothing on the side or the total here. Vegas, I like this Vegas team a lot. It doesn't matter to me that loss against the Kings. That was one of those things that just snowballed on them, and we were on the Kings as well. So I I got nothing here.
Alber, anything here?
I don't even think I'd bet this game with your money tonight. Absolutely nothing. This screams like 5-1 Golden Knights win.
Yeah, I am in the same boat as you guys. I will be fast asleep before this game starts if all goes according to plan. Nothing there. And that was actually our last game. I was looking at the FanDuel screen here that had the Wings Jackets outdoor game for Saturday already listed. That's why I was thrown off by seeing another game here. So that is all the games for tonight. So I will recap our best bets here quickly before we get out of here. I don't know if we have time to build an anytime goal parlay today, just because so many does have to get out of here. But looking at what we got right now, we have the Panthers minus 120, the Jackets and Wings under 6.5 minus 115, Jackets plus 135, Isles minus 112, Sharks plus 186, Flyers, Penguins over 5.5 minus 118, Jets minus 130, Wild plus 155, Ducks plus 118. And those are all full unit bets except for the Sharks one, which is half a unit. And right now we have the Flyers Pens listed as half unit, but I think we'll get that fixed because that was a full unit bet as well. So just
Damn,
the
that
Sharks.
Panthers number took off.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
What number took off?
Everything.
I'm probably going to come back on the Oilers at this point. We're almost getting plus 130s. That's good for me. I know you guys are in disagreement, but
No, that's a big number. Okay, that'll do it for us today. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. No goal scorer parlay for today, which maybe isn't the worst thing in the world, I'd say. Take a night off here. We will be back tomorrow, the three of us again, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Appreciate everyone tuning in today. We will see you guys back tomorrow. Until then, enjoy the games. Good luck on your bets.